What's up, YouTube? MGold40 here, bringing you guys Reinnovating the Gadgets number 4. This one's going to be how to deal with those bullshit Six Samurai decks, and how stun should technically get a rebirth, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. But first, I'm going to blow your mind. Did anybody ever notice that the gadgets look like the 3 Mega Champions from the 3rd season of Digimon? Oh, bam! Oh, bam! Oh, bam! So, what are we going to discuss today? Well, we're going to discuss Six Samurai, and how Six Samurai are overhyped and underhyped at the same time. A little background on the deck: Kagemusha, Kizan. Kagemusha is their tuner, and then Retard Bogart Knight and their 6 Grandmasters. So, how do you beat a deck that has that much spamming capabilities? And how you do that is stun. If you haven't noticed, stun pretty much took a back seat after YCS Indy. The problem with stun is because unless there is a defined format, the deck is not going to function properly. And unfortunately, we have to enter into a shitty format in order for stun to be good. Right now we're in a decree-based format, and unfortunately, Trap Dust Shoot also took a back seat, which was a power card for stun. And once we see the death of the decree format, we'll actually go back into maining Trap Dust Shoot, which a lot of people have already anticipated. But yeah, Cold Wave is another factor that is killing stun right now, and unfortunately, until we get rid of Cold Wave and bring back Heavy Storm. Yes, Heavy Storm is what made gadgets a little bit more powerful. A lot of people don't seem to realize that, but powerful cards like Heavy Storm had the same effect against the deck as it did for the deck beneficially. So being able to Heavy Storm and just go off was a little bit better. I guess I ended up talking about this discussion. But back to the Six Samurai. Like I said, you have to go into a definitive format in order for the deck, in theory, to be good. So that's why I haven't really played anything right now, because in a decree format, trap-based decks like gadgets really aren't that good. But you know how things change. The game state is always constantly evolving, and I've been playing fish temporarily because the deck is still sleeping. Nobody seems to realize that. But enough about this. We're going to talk about some anti-Six Samurai cards that all decks can play. And the first one is Spell Shattering Arrow. The card probably will not see as much play as a lot of the other things I'm expecting currently. But it's a good card nonetheless. That way you can sight it in, and then when they go to play their gateways and their uniteds, you can just chain it, blow it up, and go to town. So I mean, it is beneficial, but it's not amazing. This is probably the least likely pick for the sideboard. The next one, Retarded Puppet Plant. Discard to take control of their warrior monster. So you move their Xian out of the way, and then you just commence dumping on them with their own Xian. So it's definitely a good tech choice for decks that can get rid of the monster that they take, but you know how that works. And then the final tech choice, this is funny, Goza Match. For those of you that don't know what Goza Match does, both players can only control one attribute. So you just commence the pain when they summon their first monster. You drop the Goza Match, and they're like, oh, great, now what do I do? But if they got Earth on the board, they're going to spam Kizan. There's nothing you can really do about that, because I think Kizan and Grandmaster are the same attribute. So this card does slow them down heavily. It is probably the best pick against the deck, unfortunately, at this point in time, because you know how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works. The next choice, this one's a herp to derp. We're going to be maining Triple Solemn Warning, I guess. Like I said, Trap Dust Shoot's another good choice. That card will definitely be mained hella high. That way you just chain it off with the first hand. And then you just go to 10 from there. But the format is going to shift once again. Decree's probably going to fade out, because if you have Decree on the field, that's like an open invitation for samurais to hand you your asshole. So, I mean, people aren't going to main Decree anymore. Kind of steering away from the discussion about Six Samurai. Gadgets, how they're going to evolve in the next format. Ultimately, in the next format, we should have Six Samurai still functioning. Konami's not going to totally wreck the deck because of sales. You guys should know how that is, so enjoy your format of Six Samurai. Debris Plant will be walking around with one less nut. That deck will still be functional. On the side, I guess, on the opposite side, there should be Gravekeepers should be seeing a decrease in play, because Six Samurais only play like 14 monsters. So, I mean, we're going standard OCG again. Lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. I don't like stuttering, but it just kind of happens. Anyway, Gravekeepers should see less play, but we're also going to see an increase in Sabers. Sabers aren't dead by any stretch of the mind. The fact that Sabers have the strongest ability to counter the deck right now, that is known as Six Samurais, with triple Saber Hole, Dark Soul's a replacement floater, and Hyunlei's a little bitch. So those 3 cards alone pretty much ensure that the deck will still be viable, and Gravekeepers are still going to be viable because they still hurt X-Sabers. So I'm pretty sure that all the decks in the format are going to evolve. If those are the only decks that are floating around, I guess Scraps will be floating around because they're getting their broken ass Grandmaster. But if those 5 decks are pretty much in the meta, and depending on how Frog Monarch is still floating around based on the ban list, Stun will probably see an increase in meta play. If those are the only decks it has to fight against, and there's a good amount of support, we'll see how it does. But Stun is best at its peak when there's only one definitive deck that it has to beat. So in the Frog format, that's why Stun did so well at Indy. Indy was the hardest jump in the format. Nobody will admit it. It's the last jump of the format. Everybody knows what to expect. Everybody knows what is going on in the meta. So countering the meta is a very, very key point in that stage in the game. And that's why Stun was able to do so good, because there was a tier 1 deck. Stun knew exactly how to do it, and Stun did it best. So, like I said, in order for any kind of Stun deck to be functioning at the end of this format, we have to have that definitive tier 1 deck, which the ban list clears, and that's why Stun kind of takes a back seat. So, I mean, Gadget Stun is going to be good, probably at Houston, as long as they can, I guess we go into the term dice roll format, as shitty as that is, but it happens because the dice roll format, you roll the dice, Stun player opens up first, they have like a 50 to 60% chance of winning. It's a little bit higher for them than the other Six Samurai player, because the Six Samurai player can still explode, but it's in their favor because they're going first, so it gives them time to set up. So, like I said, it all is determined by the ban list to what to expect in the future from these guys. Right now, I kind of put the deck on hold, unfortunately, because I'm enjoying Fish. It's just fun, and I didn't really enjoy getting destroyed by Cold Wave. So once Heavy Storm comes back, we'll see. We'll also see what happens if Cold Wave sticks around for another format, but we'll see. So tell me your thoughts down here in the comment section about about what you think about my ideas, and what you guys think about the upcoming format, and what you guys think about Six Samurai. I really do think that they are overhyped, just because if they don't open the nuts, you just push their poop in. So, and it doesn't really seem like they have that many search cards. And the OCG Fairy deck I've been testing around with has been doing really good against like everything. So there are counters to it, we just don't have them yet. And since we're so slow at getting the counters, there's not much we can do. So that's pretty much everything for now, guys. I apologize for taking so much of your time to make this video, but tell me what you guys think down below, and if there's any ideas that you guys have for gadgets right now. So this is the Digimon Gadget Squad signing out. Later, guys.